If you're a bronze player, I wouldn't recommend setting your goal as diamond because you're basically trying to go from the top 75% of players to the top 2%. And we know how the human mind works, and setting yourself such an impossible goal is going to be really disheartening. It's going to take you a long time, and it means you're not going to be enjoying the journey of going from bronze to silver to gold to platinum. So what I recommend is breaking that down into, okay, we're bronze 1. Let's get to silver 3. Cool, we got to silver 3. Let's get to gold 4. And we break it down into micro goals until we achieve that ultimate goal. In today's profile review, I'm going to be talking about how to do that for your profile, as well as the benefits of one-on-one coaching. Before we get into this profile review, if you want your account reviewed just like the one we're about to watch, please check out the link in the YouTube description below. Let's get into it. So currently you're bronze 1 with a 45% win rate and with just under 200 games played this season on this account, and your goal is to get to diamond. So we're basically trying to go from the top 75% of players to the top 2% of players. So it's a massive jump. It's not unachievable, but it's going to be very hard. And first things first, I would just want you to almost break down your overall goal of trying to get to diamond into micro goals. So like, okay, we're bronze 1. Let's aim for silver 4. And then, okay, let's aim for gold 4. Okay, then let's aim for plat and then aim for diamond. So that, one, you get satisfaction along the way of this massive journey. Because if you're just always waiting until diamond to celebrate or to be like, I've made it, 99.9% of the time playing League, you're going to be disappointed, and there's going to be a lot of times you're going to want to give up. It feels like it's impossible. And so having a lot of little micro goals along the way to your overall goal is really important. So that's the first thing I would suggest is, treat things like going from bronze 1 to silver as a really good thing. Now, what I can see here is that last season you were silver 2 and now you're bronze 1. So it feels like maybe you did a role swap, or maybe you just started playing a lot of roles this season to try and figure out what worked. But after 200 games, you haven't gotten back to silver 2, which is a little bit concerning. And it says to me that something has gone wrong this season. And again, whether that's your strategy, you just played too many champions. I can have a quick look here. You played 25 champions, so that's not really the issue. Last season, you didn't really play at all and got to silver 2. That's very interesting. I'm not too sure how that works, but interesting to say the least. And okay, so you're bronze 1. That's really interesting, actually, how you've done that. But we're going to be looking at your present rank. Bronze 1, what can we do to get better? First thing is, we've got to pick a role. I can see that you like mid a lot, but you are playing support a bit as well. So I'm hoping that you're only playing support when you're autofilled. Otherwise, you should always just be playing one role. The reason we always play one role is so that we can master it, we can get better at it, more proficient, and we can climb faster. Because if our goal is to get to diamond, well, we need to pick one role, we need to master it. So that's the first thing. I would recommend, queue up mid and then you go secondary support, because it seems like support's probably your second strongest role, which is great. Mid support, there's a lot of synergies, a lot of champions you can play in both roles, so I think you're set there. The second thing you need to do now is figure out, what your champion pool is going to be, because, again, when we're trying to go from bronze 1 even to like gold, we need to have a small champion pool because it's easier to climb with a small champion pool. Because we don't have to learn as much, we can invest more time into small, one champion rather than trying to learn 3 champions at once. And it just makes the overall rank climbing journey easier, less frustrating, less tilting, and you're going to win more. Who doesn't want to win more? Who doesn't want to gain more LP? And it ensures that you're less likely to ruin your MMR, which is very, very important. So for you, what champion would you play? Well, if you're checking the patch notes, yes, ASOL just got nerfed, but honestly, you've got a 57% win rate on ASOL. I think he is a perfect champion for you to continue playing. I also really like Vega. I think he's very strong. I also think Ziggs is strong. And then for your support, I would recommend something like Lux. I can also see that you play a bit of Mordekaiser with a 58% win rate there. So if you are like, I'm not sure if I want to play mid or jungle, support. I actually want to go to top lane. And if that's the case, I would recommend your Mord. But regardless of what role you're playing, so you pick, mind you, you've got to pick one, we need to get a small champion pool. So if you're playing top, small champion pool. Mid, small champion pool. Support, small champion pool. Whatever role you're maining, we need a small champion pool. And by small champion pool, I mean like maximum 3 champions. For a bronze player, I would honestly recommend 1 if your goal is to climb the fastest way you can. And then 2 if you're like, well, I want to climb really quickly, but I know I'm going to get bored of 1 champion, so I need to play at least 2. And that's what I recommend. You basically 2-trick your way to silver. And then you 2-trick your way to gold, and then you keep going until you literally cannot play that champion anymore, and then you learn a new champion, usually on a second account or in flex queue or in normals, so that again you're not ruining your main account's MMR, which is really, really important. So for you could go in any direction. There is no champion that is gonna necessarily help you climb faster. The 2 things I would always take into account when picking my champion pool for the first time, or considering your champion pool with you've played 2 seasons, you've played a lot of champions, now it's time to narrow that champion pool down. I would go with 2 factors. Do you have fun on the champion, and are you good on the champion? And when I say good, I generally mean, do you have at least a 55% win rate or higher in ranked on it over at least 15, 20, ideally 40, 50 games? Because if you can win on a champion 55% of the time over 50 games, it says to me that you can play that champion to a higher standard than the current rank you're in. And that's what you also tell the League of Legends system. And when the League of Legends system sees that, they will help you climb, because they're trying to get you to your true rank. The rank where you really naturally get a 50% win rate, because you literally are playing people of equal skill to you. And so you literally do win 50% of your games, lose 50% of your games. Now, it's not as simple as that, but that's basically how the system works. And therefore, we're always wanting to play our highest win rate champions, because these are the champions we can generally play at a higher standard compared to the current rank we're in, which is important because it allows us to climb. And when we're trying to get to diamond from bronze, climbing is very, very important. So for you, I would recommend your ASOL mid lane, your Lux support, and your Mordekaiser top lane. Those are really the 3 I would recommend. You could also look at playing your Ziggs in the mid and your Veigar. Those 3 champs I really like because they're quite similar. They're very hyper scaling, great crowd control, a lot of damage in the late game. So I really like those 3 champs, particularly when bronze games are some of the longest ranked games in ranked. So like longer than silver, longer than gold on average. Scaling AP mid laners are great to play because no one knows how to close out a game, and so when you scale, you just have a better chance of closing out that game in amidst the clown fiestas and the chaos that is solo queue. So you've got your rank, you've got your role, you've got your champion pool. What else do you need to focus on? Well, after that strategy, it really becomes about the in-game things that you're doing wrong. And one I can see right off the bat is your CS is actually pretty good, particularly on your ASOL. 6.5 CS per minute for a bronze mid laner is really good to see. I'm not saying bronze is a shit rank or anything. I'm just saying 6.5 CS is really good. I generally expect to see that in like a silver 2, silver 1 mid laner. So it looks like you're getting enough farm. What I would recommend is your death rate is a little bit too high, 6.3. I generally recommend mid laners to be aiming for about a 5.5 death rate, and I can see in your last 20 games you got about a 7.7 average deaths. So you are dying like almost 2 more times, or just over 2 more times on average per game than what you should be doing, which could be the reason for this recent loss streak in your ASOL. And then over here, again, we can only look at your support statistics, which actually seem quite promising. It seems like you do have a very strong support playstyle. And so I could even recommend to you, maybe considering support as your role to climb, because you are playing damage supports, which are really good to climb in bronze, silver, gold. And so you could even go there. But besides that, a typical bronze player needs to really be focusing on a few things. They need to be focusing on their laning phase. They need to be focusing on how they interact with champions, so their allies, such as ganks, but also their enemies, such as positioning in lane, understanding where the enemy jungler is, when to rotate, when to recall. And a lot of these things cannot be taught or cannot be diagnosed of whether you're good or not at them in a profile review like this, because I'm simply looking at stats, raw data, and I can't see any gameplay. So, Caden, if you are interested in, accelerating your learning journey and accelerating your climbing experience and trying to, seriously climb this season. You know, you're not just trying to get to silver this season, you're trying to get to gold or plat. What I'd recommend for you is one-on-one personalized coaching. And that's something we do at lolcoach.academy that really sets us apart. Most coaching companies, sites, they all really just do like one-off sessions and then they just leave you there and expect you to, you know, go and climb. But what we do is we work with our clients to build out like 3-month strategy plans, 6-month strategy plans, whole season strategy plans for however long you want to work with us. And we basically show players exactly what they need to do each month to break down the next hurdle. So bronze 1 to silver 3 is an example, silver 3 to silver 1. And how we do this is we look at the biggest thing holding that player back currently with the champions they're playing and the role they're playing. So that's why that strategy is so important, so we can get consistent data. And then we figure out, well, okay, what is in-game affecting you the most? Is it you're dying too much to enemy jungle ganks? Is it you're not grouping enough? Is it you're not helping your team secure objectives? Is it because you don't know how to team fight? What we do is we review your games with you and we figure out the biggest like 10 to 15 problems that you're currently having. And we order those in terms of priority, in terms of what we need to fix in order for you to climb to that next goal. Bronze 1 to silver 3 is an example. And that's really the beauty of personalized coaching, but also ongoing coaching and what makes us different at lolcoach.academy. So Caden, if you're interested in that, please, once you've watched this, reach out to me. You can book a free call. I can show you exactly what a personalized coaching solution would look like for you and what your goals are, as well as what your strategy is based on the information I've given you in this profile view. You've got a lot of potential here. Your support role is great. You've got great potential in mid lane as well as your top lane. It's really just a matter now of getting that strategy and then getting coaching if you are serious about accelerating your learning. So I hope you enjoyed this profile view, and please, once you've watched this, reach out to me on Discord and we can go from there. As always, cheers, good luck in the Rift, and I'll talk to you soon.